Can you imagine if someone could hear everything you think? Well, Edward has the gift of telepathy. This power allows Edward to probe and know the thoughts of other people, including vampires. Edward's power works on everyone, except for one person, his beloved Bella. He can listen to a whole group, but over the years he has learned to control it, and now he can focus on just one person at a time. The closer Edward is to someone, the more clearly he hears their thoughts. Just like with a simple friend or acquaintance. But the more connected someone is to Edward, like a best friend or a partner, the easier it is for him to have and understand all their thoughts in detail. But how does his power work? Throughout the movie, we can see in more detail how he uses this power. When they're in high school, Edward realizes that none of his classmates have anything special. But the moment Belen enters the cafeteria, he realizes he can't read her mind. Why? This has an explanation that we'll see later in the video. Putting this aside, Edward is able to hear anyone who wants to hurt Bella. He was even able to hear Jacob's mind. By the way, what do you think Jacob thought of Bella? We don't know. What we do know is that it wasn't anything nice, which is why Edward got completely angry. In the Breaking Dawn movie, he uses this power to find out what the Volturi's plans and intentions were. During their confrontation, Carlisle accidentally discovered Edward's power sometime after turning him into a vampire. Well, Edward started saying what Carlisle was thinking without him saying it out loud, or he would answer his questions before he even asked them. Now let's see why Edward can't read Bella's mind. The answer is easier than it seems. And yes, as I mentioned before, the closer the bond, the stronger his power is. But Bella, even though she's his girlfriend and future wife, he can't. And this is because of the ability Bella has, even before she becomes a vampire. And that's because she's a mental shield, which makes her immune to Edward's power and any other vampire. Bella Swan, shielded mind. From the very first moment Bella appeared, they introduced us to her power, which was a mental shield. No character with psychic powers could affect her. We saw this with Edward and also with Arrow when they tried to read her mind and couldn't, or when Jane tried to attack Bella psychically. This is because Bella wants to protect herself and protect her mind from others. After becoming a vampire, her power is enhanced and she is able to create a mental shield for her loved ones. Her mind became a complete tank, an impenetrable bunker. That is, unless she allows it. A curious fact is that Edward realized his power is inherited from Charlie Swan, who is Bella's father. And it's possible that he also has some kind of shield or protection against psychic powers, although not as developed as Bella's. Since Edward is sometimes unable to read his mind, and we know this thanks to the books. So this gives us a clue to think that Bella's power is an inheritance, which possibly goes back generations. Bela can shape this shield as he wants after training and strengthening it. Renesmee Kulin, tactile thought projection and shield penetration. Renesmee is Edward and Bella's daughter. The gifts that Renesmee has, so to speak, are kind of the opposite of her parents' gifts. She can break through mental shields, which is the opposite of Bella's power, which is to create these shields. And her second gift is being able to project her memories through physical contact, which is the opposite of Edward's gift, which is reading other people's minds. She can share her thoughts with others just by touching them. An example of this power in the movies is in Breaking Dawn. After she was born, when Bella holds her, she sees that Renesmee's first memory is Jacob trying to kill her. Imagine being a baby and your first memory is a stinky wolf trying to send you to Mama Coco. Most likely, over time they could develop these powers to an unimaginable level. That way, projecting their memories without having to touch others and being able to penetrate anyone's mind anytime. Alice Cullen. Subjective precognition. Alice has the power or ability to see the future, but this future will change depending on the decisions that are made. She cannot see a fixed destiny, but rather a possible future, depending on the situations and decisions that were made at that moment. Just as she can think or see something at one moment, within minutes, she can see another scenario. It's as if it were a river that can take different paths or change its course. She doesn't know the ending until it happens. Her power only works with humans and vampires. In the books, it's mentioned that she developed it since she was a child. She has had this ability to see the future since she was human. This made people, including her family, think she was crazy. The only person who stayed with Alice was her mother, which leads us to the saddest story in all of Twilight. But if you would like to see the tragic and sad story of Alice, let us know in the comments. Jasper Hale. Jasper Hale has the ability to sense and manipulate the emotions of other people, as he does with his family's lawyer, Jenks. His ability is more physical, which is why he can also affect Bella. For example, in the first movie, Bella feels a lot of anxiety because James is chasing her, so Jasper uses his ability to calm her down. Jasper has always attracted people with his charisma and personality, and now, with his power, is he able to relieve other people's emotional discomfort? Just like he did with Bella. Carlisle, Healing Hands. Carlisle has a physical power that can soothe any pain a person feels. The pain will be gone, but the wounds won't heal with his power. He simply helps people perceive less pain through their brain. This explains why, in all his identities, Carlisle is always a doctor. So yes, it may sound like a very simple power or one with very little use. But on the battlefield, it can be very useful so that his team can't feel pain when facing off. The Volturi clan, and we start with Aro. Tactile telepathy, Aro can see all the thoughts a person has had. The downside is that to do this, he has to make physical contact with the person. The longer he maintains contact, the more he can probe into their mind. Marcus, Relationship Identifier. A rather curious power is Marcus's. He is able to identify the relationships that people or other vampires have with each other. He can tell who the leader of a group is. He can even know people's romantic interests. In addition, he can also tell who is the weakest in a group of people. Chelsea, Manipulate Relationships. Chelsea has a power that's related to Marcus's power, and it's the ability to manipulate relationships. She can break or strengthen bonds between individuals, and in the books, she used this power with Marcus. Although she can manipulate relationships, she has a limitation, and that's if it's about family or true love, this ability loses some of its effect. In the books, Chelsea manipulated Marcus to swear loyalty to Aro and the clan. That's why he never left with his great love, Alec and Jane. Sensory deprivation and illusion of pain. Alec has the ability to block all 5 senses, both for humans and for other vampires. He can use his power on a group of people around him. Although Bella, with her mental shield, can protect herself as well as others from this power. Jane, Alec's sister, can project extremely intense physical pain into the minds of others, which has an immediate effect. She can make a person writhe in pain just by looking at them, but as it should be, Bella is immune to this. Dimitri and Afton, Tracking and Invisibility. We have a character who's like a hunting hound, and that's Dimitri. He is able to track a person by sensing their mental essence. He can follow their scent no matter the distance. Although there is a character who can counter this ability, and no, it's not Bella, it's Afton. Afton has the ability to become invisible to trackers. And continuing with the next point, we have to mention that there are other characters who appear in the movies who, even though they don't have much screen time, also have abilities or powers that are quite interesting. For example, Safrina, a member of the Amazon clan who has, in my opinion, the best power of all. And that's because she can make her victims see any illusion she wants. She can even make them see nothing at all. Eleazar can see the type and strength of the supernatural powers that other vampires have. Before humans are transformed, Aro used him to recruit vampires who, according to him, would be useful. Benjamin can control the four main elements of the earth, which are fire, earth, water, and air at will. That's right, Benjamin is the Avatar and can control everything around him. Maggie, Irish clan. The biggest and the most stand for love. It's just a lot of reference. Arch of the Izov. Reds, aside from their telepathic communication with each other. That's why it was so hard for them to face the vampires without the help of the Cullens. As shown in Twilight, being a vampire is more than just having fangs and speed. They have unique abilities that represent them, but in my opinion, Bella is the most powerful character. More than half the characters on this list can't do anything to her. Anyway, what about you? What do you think about all these powers? If you were a vampire, which power do you think you would have? We'll read your comments.